Tell me how, I got nothing to say. Tell me why my tombstone is blank. 'Cause I'm not the one who won't try. I'm not letting life pass me by. And tell me when the days are less gray. And tell me where is the road to less pain. How many days before I decay? It's getting so hard to get by. Where are all my trophies in life? And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life. Set to sail to a place I can't say. Live a life worthy of chase. The time is today. New blood in my veins. I won't be the joker in life, playing the part I don't like. And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life. And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life. Yeah. And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life. 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 Young and hungry for life.
Oh, my goodness! Is it great to be alive? On a Monday night in the OTS venue or what? Man, what a show tonight! Product ain't perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but when you got Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Gunther, Dolph Ziggler, and John Cena on the show, I mean, it's pretty safe to say that you can't have a bad show, right? You can't have a bad show. Monday night, New York City, Madison Square Garden. We got the John Cena Last Time Is Now tournament. Two very good matches tonight. Brock Lesnar is back. He's on Team Vision for War Games. Roman Reigns is back. He's on Team Punk for War Games. Maxxine Dupri is the new Women's Intercontinental Champion. I forgot, AJ Lee came back tonight, man. How many returns do we have tonight? We're going to talk about it all and why everything happened tonight right here on Monday night. Ladies and gentlemen, I got my cold beverage. We had a good day today. And we're going to the venue. And when I get there on this Monday night, and when I walk through those doors, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
Guys, thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Monday Night Raw Post Show for November 17th, 2025. I'm your host, JD from New York, as always, coming to you live from the OTS venue inside my mother's basement. Thank you guys very much for joining me on your Monday evenings, wherever you may be. Can you believe that guy in the chat before? I love JD. They always preface it, but I love JD, but I think his taste in music is terrible, man. Meanwhile, this clown said this during an Andy James song. If you don't know who Andy James is, you should. Go Google him. Go Google it and tell me he's not a great musician. If there's one thing you don't do, it's make fun of my preference of music. That is an easy way to bench Boulevard and getting yourself blocked, okay? Nobody speaks ill will of my music, especially when it's Andy fucking James. Okay? Go Google it and then tell me. And then reach out to me and tell me he's a bad guitar player. We'll talk about music a little bit later, man. I went to 2 concerts the last 2 weeks, man. I feel revitalized. I need to attend more concerts. Anyway, I was not in attendance, even though some people did ask me if I did attend or contemplate attending Monday Night Raw tonight inside Madison Square Garden. I do no such thing. I do not spend money on a subpar product. Okay? We don't do that. We only put our money towards value. Tonight was a valuable show. I think the fans in Madison Square Garden got their money's worth tonight, no matter how much you spent on tickets to be there. I think the lowest price ticket was about $180. So imagine taking a family of 5, you, the wife, and the 3 kids, to go see John Cena for the last time ever inside Madison Square Garden, man. You're in the hole $1,000 already before you even get to the fucking popcorn stand. It's crazy. It's literally a month's rent to go see John Cena inside Madison Square Garden. I am seated right here. I'm not going nowhere, man. I got a job to do. Monday night, we got a lot of returns tonight, man. We got a lot of returns. We got Gunther making his return. By the way, Gunther came back to his old NXT UK theme. Oh, my goodness. Can I get a round of applause, man? Holy shit. That is a unbelievable decision, man. I said it since day one. Why would we change this man's theme music when legitimately that theme music just fits him so perfectly? Gunther walking out to that theme music symbolizes that he is the one true weekly final boss of WWE. Now, I heard that it's not the original theme. Some people said that this is the Def Rebel remake. I don't give a fuck what remake it is. If it sounds like his old theme, we're in the ballpark. That's all I need to know. Now we need to get Judgment Day's theme music changed because that shit is fucking horrendous. I'd call up Miles Kennedy. I should have said something to Miles when I went to go see him last week. Call up Alter Bridge, call up Tremonti and said, hey, gentlemen, can we have the rights to the other side? I know Copeland is all about you guys, but can we get the rights to the other side, man? We need to give Judgment Day their theme music back. Hopefully that's the next change. Gunther made his return. He made his return tonight. AJ Lee made her return, and she actually aided in Becky Lynch losing the Intercontinental Championship to one Maxxine Dupri, which we'll talk about. We got the return of Dolph motherfucking Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler's back. One night only, because he's with TNA. But my God, man, John Cena came out to open the show. Dolph Ziggler came out about an hour later. Dolph Ziggler and the reaction to Dolph making his return was just as loud, if not louder, than John Cena. It was a great return, and clearly he was very much missed, and I am a big Nick Nemeth fan. He is tremendous in every sense of the word. So we'll talk about that as well. So that's Gunther. AJ Lee made her return. Dolph Ziggler made his return. We got Roman Reigns making his return to WWE after he told the Usos that he'd see them at Christmas. So he will clearly see them for Thanksgiving and Christmas because he'll be in War Games the week of Thanksgiving. Roman came back, and then we got Brock Lesnar, who made his return to the WWE for the first time since WrestlePalooza. He's back, and Roman's on Team Punk. Lesnar, as you guys know, as we talked about, is on Team Heyman, Team Vision, and War Games is set, at least for the men's side. The women's War Games is going through some up and downs. So we'll talk about what happened there and what those team members are going to be 5-on-5 going into San Diego at Survivor Series. 5 returns tonight. So we got that. And that alone made it a very newsworthy evening. The biggest thing that happened tonight, in my honest opinion, was the return of Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. I have been very vocal about the build to these War Games matches. The women's match, I'm going to say this again, and I don't really care who clips it. I don't care who finds my comments to be negative or whatever narrative you want to throw out there. I mean this wholeheartedly as a pro wrestling fan because I want better. And right now, we're not really getting better. The Women's War Games doesn't really need to happen. I'm tired of the narrative of, oh, we have to have two, one for the men and one for the women. No, we don't. We have it on a case-by-case scenario. If it matters and if it's needed, then we do it. The men's needs it. It's been building since the Raw after WrestleMania. Or if you want to even go back to WrestleMania, it's been building since then and before WrestleMania. So yes, the men's War Games match is very much needed. It's the finality of what we've seen play out on television for the last 7 months. The women's is not needed. I am never going to sit here and lie to you guys. The women's match consists of Lash Legend, Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss, all of whom do not belong in the Women's War Games. If they wanted to go in another direction, then they could have gone in another direction and better direction. There is no build. No matter how much they want to manufacture tensions between Charlotte and Rhea Ripley and play up the fact that Charlotte's not answering Alexa Bliss's text messages or phone calls like she documented tonight, it doesn't need to happen. There's nothing that warrants the build. Do you want to know why I don't like it? That's number one. Number two, Triple H is treating the War Game, and this is the big one, folks, so you can clip this if you want to. Triple H is treating the War Games match as in every November thing. Here we are, it's November, it's War Games. Instead of legitimately building something up where it warrants the match taking place, like he did with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. How long before that didn't we see a Hell in a Cell? We got Hell in a Cell back, and they put those two guys in there. No shenanigans, no fun and games, no bullshit, no escaping the cage, because the cage is supposed to keep everything contained within. And we got blood. And the feud mattered. And the Hell in a Cell was warranted for the feud because of what happened throughout the entire year. One match, two match, and the third match, the final match happened in there, and it ended the feud. Any more questions? And no, it wasn't over a fucking bracelet like the AEW sickos seem to think. No, the feud was not built up over a fucking bracelet. Okay? Sorry that your guy can't tell consistent stories. And we got two money matches at Full Gear now, by the way. One for $1 million and another one for $200,000, man. Yeah, I'm sure everybody's jizzing the fact or jizzing off over the fact that Tony Khan's got two money matches at Full Gear, man. Oh, man. Fucking ridiculous. The Women's War Games doesn't need to happen. I don't give a fuck who says what to me in what context. It doesn't need to happen. Now, the men's War Games. Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, the Usos, and Roman Reigns. That's a great fucking team. That's an all-star team. Stars. Something that the men's Blood and Guts match didn't have. On the other side, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar. Stars. Also something the men's Blood and Guts match didn't have. Stars. We've talked about this, and we've predicted this. We've seen the vision, no pun intended. No matter how predictable it is, and no matter how many people have predicted that this was going to be the way, you look at those teams, man, and it's very difficult to not like what is going on there. That is one hell of a fucking match, honestly. And something that honestly encapsulates War Games. Obviously, we got Punk and the Vision. Now, granted, Rollins is not there, but Punk and the Vision has basically been something that's been happening all year. We got Punk and the Vision. Punk has or has had history with Brock Lesnar. One of the best SummerSlam matches ever. It's Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk. And then, obviously, we just talked about CM Punk and Drew McIntyre get to relive their feud inside War Games. So clearly, Heyman is kind of sticking it to CM Punk here with Drew McIntyre and Brock Lesnar. And then, obviously, Logan Paul, who's had a thing or three to say about CM Punk. And in the past, they were in the Elimination Chamber together. Then you look at Cody Rhodes, who granted wrestled Seth Rollins at Crown Jewel, who he's not in this match, but, you know, he's had his problems with Heyman in the past, obviously, so it's just in a different context. He's got his problems with Paul Heyman. Cody has obviously had his history with Brock Lesnar, if you guys remember, 3 years ago. We still didn't get an explanation as to why they were even feuding, by the way. So he's got his history with Brock Lesnar. He's got his history with Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre was added to make sense of why Cody was even there. But Cody also has history with not only Paul Heyman, but Brock Lesnar. So Drew McIntyre is basically the catalyst to get Cody Rhodes into the match. And then you add Lesnar in the vision overall. And Cody Rhodes very much belongs in that dynamic. I'd much rather see them in that dynamic than yet another one-on-one match where Cody Rhodes either has to win and beat Drew McIntyre or drop the WWE title to Drew McIntyre, and WWE doesn't want to drop the title to Drew McIntyre. So McIntyre being there is a great reason to get Cody involved. So he belongs. Then you got Roman. We all know Roman's history with Brock Lesnar. That doesn't need to be stated. Obviously, Drew McIntyre and Roman have a history. McIntyre, at the beginning of the year, targeted the Bloodline and wanted to take out everybody that he felt wronged him. In my honest opinion, if you guys remember, Drew McIntyre should have been the one-on-one match for Roman Reigns. I was lobbying for that match to happen at WrestleMania because I think that made the most sense. They didn't do that. Now, granted, we got a great triple threat match, probably the best triple threat match all year with Roman, Punk, and Rollins. Night one main event of WrestleMania. But McIntyre, I do believe, should have wrestled Roman. Instead, McIntyre got Damian Priest, which was a fine match, but it wasn't anywhere near the caliber of a WrestleMania match for Drew or near the caliber of a Roman Reigns. So, yes, they have history. And obviously, we all want to see Reigns and Breakker, which is the next big match that everybody's anticipating. So, yes, Roman being back. And then, obviously, the Usos and the Vision. They've wrestled Usos and Lesnar, obviously, backing up Roman and McIntyre. Everybody's got something to do with each other. It's a collection of stars that have ongoing issues or had ongoing issues from years past. And it's all collectively coming to a boil inside War Games. This may be the one War Games match out of everything we've seen so far on the main roster that I'm genuinely excited for because of all the combustible elements in this match and all the history in this match. It's perfect. It is a perfect recipe for what a War Games match should be. Could the build be better? Could the build have been longer? Could we have gotten all these guys on the weekly shows to make all the weekly shows for the last several weeks feel a little bit more important than they have? Yes. If you're going into War Games, I want to see it stretched out further instead of just, hey, you know what? We got 3 weeks left to go. Let's get everybody on board now and get these teams assigned and these matches announced. I just feel like that's kind of lazy. And I feel like WWE is taking, and Triple H is taking the fans for granted because they already have 35,000 tickets out the door. They didn't really need to announce anything because they're on their way to a sellout. And now with these matches being announced, he had to put in very little effort because of the star power that he has at his disposal. And it's going to push the ticket threshold over sellout for WWE in San Diego. I just think the WWE and Triple H takes their fans for granted and takes advantage of the paying customer. I do. They should be a little bit more aware that the build needs a little bit more oomph. I'm not really feeling that. Now, granted, tonight's close was a very good way to go off the air. And it was exciting. And I'm sure everybody got their money's worth to see Cody and Punk and Lesnar and Reigns and Lesnar and Cody and Lesnar. It's great. But I want to see a little bit more. a little bit more effort going into these matches. So my opinion stands. The men's is going to be a tremendous match. You look at these teams and they're fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous. How don't you like that? Now, I just called out the laziness of how everything came about and how we need to stretch it out. The build needs to be stretched out a little bit more. But that's not going to stop me from enjoying the fucking collective of the 10 guys that are in there. And they're absolutely going to bring the war. And war. Can you imagine Lesnar in a War Games match? Can you imagine the unhinged nature of Lesnar inside a War Games match? That alone is a great selling point. I just hope that nobody gets killed in that cage. We'll talk about what we'd like to see coming out of that a little bit later as we get closer to Survivor Series. The women, they don't really need much of a match, but we'll talk about the women a little bit later because not only did Becky Lynch lose the Intercontinental Championship to Maxxine Dupri thanks to AJ Lee, but Rhea Ripley confronted AJ Lee and said, "Do you have time for a little chat?" And they were arm in arm and walked off together. So it looks like, to me, without actually needing to hear anything, that AJ Lee is going to be a part of War Games. Charlotte's back on board. AJ Lee's going to be there, and she's going to be co-captains with Rhea Ripley. And then Becky Lynch is going to be enlisted by Asuka. So that's going to play out there. You see, everybody has a history with one another in the men's War Games. That's less of a narrative in the women's. I just feel like there's just taking a bunch of feuds and bunching them together and then calling it War Games, much of which doesn't even warrant the War Games cage. So we will definitely go over that, but that is the current direction for the women's War Games. Maxxine Dupri is the new Intercontinental Champion. We'll talk about why she won the Intercontinental Championship and where I do think that we are going with her as the new champion. I do not think that it's going to be a long and fruitful reign. I do think that we have a certain judgment day coming as far as Maxine's reign as Intercontinental Champion. Wink, wink. We'll talk about that. Gunther and Javon Evans. Commercial after commercial after fucking commercial on Netflix. We got 2 commercials during this match. Did we really need 2 commercials during this match? We had 6 minutes of commercials during this match. Did we really need 6 minutes of fucking commercial during this match? No. They got to choose their spots better on where to put a commercial. That's not it. It's not it. Evans and Gunther, what we saw was a great match. Dolph Ziggler returns. I wish he was back full time. He's way too good for TNA. Way too good. He belongs on the main stage. Ziggler's back, at least for one night only, against Solo Sikoa. And WWE deflated 18,000 inside Madison Square Garden by going with the Anoa'i family. Of course he did, because he loves his Samoans. Man, I can't wait for that LA Knight and Solo Sikoa match. Fucking ridiculous. And then obviously John Cena, whether you like him or not, whether you like the way that they used him tonight or not, it was his final Monday Night Raw appearance ever. He was in a 6-man tag team match against the Judgment Day. And his tag team partners were 2 guys that I think a lot of people would have loved to see him go one-on-one with. I'll tell you why he didn't go one-on-one with them. And I'll tell you who his tag team partners were tonight on the Monday Night Raw Post Show right here on Off the Script. It is your Monday, 11/17/2025. Thank you guys for joining me tonight, man. We got 2,500 people in here. I missed you guys, man. I take one night off from streaming. It's like, man, I can't wait to get back to streaming. I can't wait to get back to the lab and start working. I had a very good reason why I missed Friday's stream, even though I did give you like a mini review. I uploaded a video yesterday. You guys can go check that out. We talked about SmackDown going back to 3 hours in January, why they're going back to 3 hours, and what I thought of Zack Ryder's return to WWE for one night only, Drew McIntyre joining the Vision, and the Jey Uso and Miz match in the tournament. Charlotte Flair also walking out on Team Rhea. So go check that out. It's on the homepage. I had a very good reason for missing Friday's stream. I actually attended the Miles Kennedy and Wolfgang Van Halen concert, Mammoth concert in Montclair, New Jersey, man. Tremendous show. I remember seeing Wolfgang live in concert during the last Alter Bridge tour where they opened for Alter Bridge. Great show that was, but I went into that not knowing who they were or what he was about. I walked out with a certain appreciation for what they did. I went back and I listened to their stuff, and I definitely couldn't wait to see them again, which was on Friday. I jumped at the opportunity to go. I wasn't going to miss them, especially if they had Miles Kennedy supporting them, who's probably the best rock vocalist of our fucking generation, to be quite honest with you. And if you don't agree with that, you can kindly fuck off, because there's nobody better. No matter how much you want to say that there's someone better, there's no one better. There's no one better than Miles Kennedy, man. Give me a fucking break. Nobody. Nobody. They had a great fucking show, man. Had a great show. I think he's great. I think Mammoth is the next big thing in rock and roll, bro. I do. I think if he was around in the 90s when K-Rock in New York City was the go-to place for new music, where Creed dominated the airwaves, bro, he would be all over the fucking radio a zillion times a day. That's how great he is. I mean that. Fucking unbelievable. Great live performance. He's a genuine dude. He just has fun out there. He's a great musician. It was a great show, man. I regret nothing. I regret nothing. I'm glad I went, and I'm sure you guys understood, man. When Miles and Alter Bridge is out there, bro, I'm missing streams, okay? I'm missing streams. And there's going to be another couple in December because Tremonti's coming to Long Island singing Sinatra. So, yeah, you guys got, you could go watch Solid Monster, man. I'll be sipping a nice martini watching Mark Tremonti sing Frank Sinatra. Miles Kennedy is better than Scott Stapp, bro. It's not even a fucking comparison. Please, don't embarrass yourself. Don't embarrass yourself. Come on now. Seriously. No. So yeah, that was that. I thank you guys. I got back right into the grind of the content. We uploaded yesterday. We uploaded today. The SmackDown 3-hour opinion video is up. Go check that out. Today we uploaded a video, a discussion that I don't really see a lot of people talking about. Mike Santana, who was the TNA World Champion, is no longer the TNA World Champion. They took the belt off of him after 32 days, 0 TV appearances with the title, and 0 title defenses. And they put the belt on Frankie Kazarian. Now, why? I discuss why. I don't know why they did it when we found out about it, but I thought about it, and I kind of gave my opinion on it today. And it includes AJ Styles. So go check that out. We also talk about their new TV deal, which is imminent, and the fact that they kicked out an influencer from their recent TV tapings at Full Sail University for potentially leaking spoilers. Which, it's 2025 going into 2026. Why do we care about leaking spoilers? We live in the day and age of the internet. Who gives a shit? So go check that out. That's on the homepage. I got to shout out. I gotta raise my beverage. I don't know if he's watching or not, or if he will watch, he catches wind of it, but shout out and toast to one Dave LaGreca. Today I found out through some of you guys that Dave heavily endorsed me on Busted Open today with Bully Ray. They were talking about John Cena and Joe Hendry and how they thought Joe Hendry was going to get the opportunity to wrestle for the right to retire John Cena. And somehow the discussion led to him giving an opportunity to somebody, and he named me. And as you guys know, I've very openly admitted on this show multiple times that the end goal is to keep the YouTube channel, obviously, and give you guys the best fucking content in the IWC because there's nobody better. But to take what we do here and enhance it live in studio, off the script on Busted Open, Tuesday Night Titans on Busted Open. It's been a goal. It's been a goal ever since I became a full-time creator. It's been a dream of mine since I became a full-time creator. And I know Dave has busted his fucking ass to get busted open to be the number one pro wrestling entity in the entire pro wrestling realm. And I certainly would love to bring my brand, because I know they have a 24-hour block now on Busted Open, and they could use shows. Bro, there's nobody better. There's nobody better. All I need is an opportunity. All I need is for me and Jason to walk in on a random fucking afternoon and do Tuesday Night Titans, and the airwaves won't be the fucking same. All I need to do is walk into the studios and give you guys my brand of wrestling knowledge and my brand of opinion, and the fucking airwaves over there won't be the same, man. All I need is an opportunity. And they're right here in New York. Who's better? So that's the goal. 2026, we're going to make it happen. I don't know how we get there. I don't know who I got to talk to. I don't know who I got to bamboozle. I don't know who I have to sugarcoat, but we're going to make it happen. And by the grace of God, you guys are going to help me get there. And you guys are going to be the fucking voice on top of the voice. So wherever you see Dave, whether you call in, whether you email him, whether you text him, whether you DM him, whatever the case may be, next year is our year. I am tired of sitting on the sidelines. I am tired of all the nonsense that comes with doing shit like this on the internet. I love what I do, but it's time we move to the next level, because I've already conquered this, and I will continue to conquer this. Now it's time for us to conquer something else. What does Doc say? What does Doc say? We're at the tippity top of the mountain, and we're only halfway up. Let's get it done. Dave, thank you, brother. I love LaGreca, and I love what he's created over there, and I want to do nothing but help and enhance and be a part, because I feel like I have a lot of value, and I feel like with what we built here, man, it would look good over there. It really would. So thank you to the guys over there, and hopefully we get a talk or a discussion going soon. Tonight we're sponsored by Blue Chew, BlueChew.com, code JD. You're going to save 10% off. We got Blue Chew Gold. You guys can win gold like Maxxine tonight. Blue Chew Gold. Save 10% off by using code JD at BlueChew.com. We'll talk about my friends over at Blue Chew with Blue Chew Gold a little bit later on in the show. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. We just hit 174,000 subscribers. Thank you guys very much for that. And hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 1,000 likes tonight. We got 2,500 people in here, and super chats are open. Get them on in. It's the best way to support what I do here Monday night and every night right here on Off the Script. So super chats are open. Questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, no matter what. Get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show as we usually do. Monday night starts with who better? John Cena. John Cena opens the show inside Madison Square Garden. He made his entrance. Fans are chanting for Cena. Cena. There's no, let's go Cena. Cena sucks. We didn't hear any of that in the last 3 or 4 months. Everybody wants to see John Cena ride off into the sunset the way he needs to, on top. We had this great drone shot fly around Madison Square Garden, man. Holy shit, did they pack that fucking building in for this night, man. Wow. Cena's entrance theme came to a close. Fans continued to cheer. Thank you, Cena. He said, man, do I enjoy and welcome that enthusiasm. Now, we were 10 minutes into the show at this point, and they were going to give John Cena all the time that he wanted. He said, in New York, in this city, it's this city that makes careers. He says he sees fans are as visible as far as the eye can see. Madison Square Garden, the champ, is here. And he held up the IC title as he said that. He said his last appearance at MSG is a bittersweet moment for some, but a very important moment for me. I want to take a second, ... And then out comes Dominic Mysterio, the former Intercontinental Champion and the current AAA Mega Champion. Dom walked out sarcastically chewing his bubble gum. Tessitore told him, know your place. He should not be out here for a second week in a row. Dom entered the ring and said, no one wants to hear what John Cena has to say. Fans booed loudly. Dominic has been getting some great babyface reactions, but in the ring with Cena, it is going to be a very heel reaction towards Dominic. He told Cena that he was handed a title shot last week, just like you were handed everything else in your career. He says he's fought for everything he has. He started yelling in Spanish, and he said he wanted a rematch for his Intercontinental Championship. Cena says he thinks he heard over the noise that he wanted a rematch because they were chanting, shut the fuck up. Cena said he came to the right building if he was looking for a fight. He said he wouldn't back down in his last Madison Square Garden appearance. He asked the fans how they feel about the situation. He then asked if they wanted to see him face Dominic for the Intercontinental title. Fans obviously cheered. I was a little bit less enthused sitting on my couch. I didn't really want to see the match again. Cena stepped up to Dom's face and said he would put the belt on the line. Dominic said, no, we already did it your way. He said he had management make the decision that San Diego would be the right place to do it. He says they're going to do it his way at Survivor Series. Fans then again chanted, shut the fuck up. Cena says, keep that on the air, Netflix. Keep that on the air. They're saying, Choco Fun Cup. Don't bleep it. I don't know why they bleep it to begin with. It's Netflix. You can turn on any random. You can watch Love is Blind and there's fucking sex all over the place. But we can't watch a pro wrestling show with fans chanting, shut the fuck up. Oh my God, man. It's such a horrible thing to listen to. Come on. Keep it on the air. I agree. Dominic challenged Cena to a match in San Diego at Survivor Series. My way, my home turf. He says it's on for Survivor Series live on ESPN. You got to get that plug in. He then said he promised a match to the fans on Monday night here inside Madison Square Garden. Except for tonight, they could forget about the title and focus on the fans. He said he'll put his title on the line in San Diego, but Dom should step up tonight and take a chance on making history. Before Dominic could answer, out comes Finn Balor and JD McDonough. Dominic told Cena he wouldn't get his final match on Raw, but he would get his ass beaten on Monday night. They jumped him 3-on-1. Sheamus ran out. All three heels bumped for him. Mysterio then came out. He's back and ready to go, cleared. And the three baby faces here, Cena, Sheamus, and Mysterio, clear the ring of the Judgment Day. Cena called for a 3-on-3 match. Ring the bell. And we got a 6-man tag team match. Opening Monday Night Raw in John Cena's last ever appearance on Monday night inside Madison Square Garden. You know, I am not... Some people may disagree with me here. I don't really give a shit, but I mentioned last week, and I had a couple of trolls. Well, thank God you're not booking the show, JD. Your ideas are terrible, man. Meanwhile, I said this could have been the one possibility last week. Granted, I wanted to see a one-on-one match with either Sheamus or Rey Mysterio, but clearly WWE wasn't going to do that when Mysterio just came back from injury. And Sheamus, let's be real, Sheamus and the Intercontinental Championship is WrestleMania. Not a random one-off match with John Cena at Survivor Series in San Diego. This, I mentioned last week, could have been one of the possibilities. Dominic versus John Cena was originally scheduled for Survivor Series. WWE sped it up, did it last week in Boston, and gave John Cena the win and crowned him the new Intercontinental Champion. So a lot of people were like, well, where does that leave Cena? Is Cena going to wrestle somebody else one-on-one for the Intercontinental Championship? Or is John Cena going to join the babyface team and make it an all-star team for Survivor Series? Now, granted, Cena's inclusion would have made sense if Lesnar was there. And McIntyre wanted Cena as well. So if they wanted to go that route, they very well could have. And they could have gave us Dominic versus Rey Mysterio at Survivor Series. They didn't do either of those things. Rey's not on the card. I'm assuming he'll be in the building, but he's not on the card. They put Roman Reigns in War Games, and they gave John Cena Dominic for a second time for the Intercontinental Championship. I explicitly said last week, I am not a fan of Dominic, or anybody for that matter, getting 2 matches in a single year against John Cena when the matches are very rare and hard to come by. He only has so many to give out. Why are we going to give 2 to one guy? Now, I don't know how you guys feel about it. I don't mind Dominic being the one to get a second match because he is someone that everyone looks up to. He is somebody that everyone looks towards as being the future of the company. He is a hot commodity. And he's one of the bright young guys in that company that is going to lead the company into the future for years and years to come. Because he's growing into his own man. And he deserves it. I don't like that Dominic's getting 2 matches out of everybody else this year when everybody else got 1. But it's Dominic. And it goes hand in hand with what John Cena wanted in his final last appearances. He wants to give back to the future. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a John Cena decision. I took the belt off this young kid, and you wanted to make a moment with me. Now we're going to San Diego where it's this kid's hometown, and we're going to make a moment for him. Because it's going to be very interesting to see the reaction in San Diego where John Cena is on his retirement tour, but then on the opposite side, you got the hometown kid in Dominic Mysterio in San Diego. It is going to be a very volatile environment in a good way. So yes, Dominic's getting the one thing that nobody else got this year, and that's 2 matches against John Cena. So when you look at it that way, do I mind? No. But I'm going to be a little real with you guys like I usually am. I'm not interested in seeing this match again. Is it going to be better than what we got on Raw? I hope so. It's a PLE match. It should. That was a TV match for a moment. This should be a better booked and produced match. I hope they don't go and just keep it as simple could be. That match last week felt very much like a house show match. They're both going to have to turn up the fucking heat because John Cena's last PLE matches were all bangers. So to keep that in line with what we're going to get on December 13th, we got to keep that momentum going. John Cena can't go in there and give us a fucking dud. We gave it a pass in Boston because it was a moment. Crowd went home happy because John Cena beats Dominic Mysterio for the IC title, and we got John Cena to become a Grand Slam champion. They did all the little Eddie tropes, and they continued Dominic cheating and taking the Weasley way out to try and cheat to win. You can do that, but man, you got to show up to fucking work in Survivor Series. In San Diego, you got to show up to work. We got to see John Cena bring it. We got to see Dominic bring it. We're going to have to see, instead of a 2.5-star match, we got to see more along the lines of a 4-star match. That's what we need. Otherwise, what's the point? Dominic wins the title back, yet we get a shitty match out of it. I wasn't too enthralled with the fucking match that they gave us last week. And I'm not excited about seeing it again in 2 weeks at Survivor Series. I don't want to see it. But I understand why they did it. They're going to take the belt off John Cena. That's the right move. Because he should not take the belt into his final match. He should not take the belt into his final match with Gunther, who it's going to be. I have a sliver of a hope that it ends up being Carmelo Hayes, but we're not going Carmelo Hayes and John Cena. No. John Cena does not need to take the Intercontinental title into Washington, D.C. on December 13th to defend it against Gunther. We don't. What is Gunther going to do with the Intercontinental title? Nothing. He's already held the belt for 666 days. He's a world champion. He's the final boss. We don't need that. Save that for somebody else who could benefit from it. The match doesn't need a championship. It's John Cena's retirement. You did it to give him an accolade and a moment in Boston. That's it. Fun and games is over now. Drop it back to Dominic, which I said last week. I don't think WWE is ready to move on from Dominic as the Intercontinental Champion. Not with Liv Morgan coming back, which I'll talk about in a little bit if you see where I'm going, because it will be Maxxine's Judgment Day very soon. And then it will be Roxanne's Judgment Day very soon. And gee, I wonder what the Intercontinental Championship match is going to be at WrestleMania. Any hints, chat? Do you get where I'm going? Wink? Who said it first? Clip it. Just in case anybody wants to steal my fucking idea. I'll tell you right now, Roxanne Perez is going to beat Maxxine Dupri. Liv Morgan's going to come back. Liv Morgan versus Roxanne Perez at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship. Or maybe before that. Maybe before that. And Liv Morgan's the new Intercontinental Champion. How about that? And if it happens before WrestleMania, the WrestleMania match will be Liv as the Intercontinental Champion, Dominic as the Intercontinental Champion, against Finn Balor and Roxanne Perez in a mixed tag team match. Man, oh man, they don't even pay me. They don't even pay me, bro. So yes, Dominic is going to win back the title. Cena will go and wrestle Gunther, and Cena will retire. So I don't mind any of that. I'm just not personally invested, excited about another John Cena and Dominic Mysterio match, but it does, at the end of the day, go in line with what John Cena wants to do in his final appearances, and that is give back. That's all he wants to do. So he's giving back. He's giving back to Ray's son. Now, the match itself that he got tonight, I know there'll be some detractors in this. I know there will be some, oh, this match was terrible, man. This is what they saved John Cena's last Raw appearance for, JD? Yeah. Clearly, we weren't getting Sheamus versus Cena. Clearly, we weren't getting Sheamus versus Mysterio. So why not take the two matches that everybody wanted to see on this tour that we didn't get and just have them team up with John Cena? Sheamus has been feuding with the Judgment Day anyway. Rey Mysterio has been feuding with Dominic. Dominic is still in the Judgment Day, though there's been tensions with Finn Balor and JD McDonough. So why not? At least by what we've seen on television, the match itself made sense. John Cena's choice of tag team partners made sense. Could he have went out there and had a banger against Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed or whoever? You know, Reed's in the tournament, so it probably couldn't have been Reed. But somebody else. Could he have defended the title tonight against Sheamus inside Madison Square Garden? Sure. But then that means Sheamus has to lose. Now, they could have worked around that. Dominic could have interfered and cost Sheamus the title. Just to continue the feud with John Cena. Dominic would want to take the belt back from John Cena and not Sheamus. But they didn't go that route. They went with the very simple house show match, house show formula inside Madison Square Garden, and the crowd was happy. They hit all their big spots. They did all their big moves. We got a triple 5-knuckle shuffle. We got a triple 10 beats of the Bodhrán from Rey, Cena, and Sheamus, and the crowd enjoyed it. What do you want me to tell you? You want me to sit here with the fucking old man glasses on and dissect John Cena's last Monday Night Raw match and why it should have been something else instead of a house show 6-man tag team match? What would you like me to say? We got Dominic versus John Cena coming up at Survivor Series, and then John Cena meets the final boss. Not The Rock. but Gunther. I don't know what else you guys want. Could this John Cena World Tour, retirement tour, been booked a lot better? Absolutely. I don't book the show, though. You can partially blame Dwayne, and then you can fully blame Triple H for not figuring this shit out. This was a fun match for what we got. I didn't really anticipate anything too special here. We got all 6 guys who are very much over, and the crowd enjoyed it. So, Judgment Day tried to bail as the match began. John Cena and company went after them. Sheamus gave Dom a Claudio big swing during the commercial break. Judgment Day used a double team, got their heat back. Ray got a hot tag, ran wild, and he was out for 7 months, and he looked really good in there. Ray went for a 619, was stripped up by Dom from the outside. Ray then gave Dom a dropkick. Balor attacked Ray from behind, allowing Judgment Day to take over. 2 commercial breaks in the opening match, 2. Don't know why. We got 6 minutes of commercial breaks in this match. John Cena's final match ever on Monday night. Riddled with 6 minutes of commercial. During the break, fans chanted, "Who's your daddy?" Dominic gave Ray 3 amigos. The last of the amigos was a brainbuster because he does not like his father. Ray fought back, fought off a double team by Balor and McDonough. Cena made the hot tag. Hit McDonough with his shoulder tackles, a side slam, 5-knuckle shuffle. You can't see me. McDonough then landed on his feet off the AA attempt, followed with a flying headbutt right to John Cena's shoulder. Everyone then got in there, traded moves, which left Cena alone in the ring. McDonough hit Cena with a moonsault, which looked beautiful. Balor hit a coup de grace, flush. Dominic hit a frog splash. And the heels covered Cena, all 3, but Ray and Sheamus leapt in there and broke up the pinfall. Sheamus, Ray, and Cena then all grabbed one member of the Judgment Day and then hit a triple 10 beats of the Bodhrán. Rey Mysterio did it to his own son with a little extra leverage as he stood on the second rope because he's too small to do it like the rest of them. So all the heels are down. Cena and Ray, Sheamus, they all did the 5-knuckle shuffle, having a good time out there. Ray gave Balor and McDonough a double 619. Sheamus gave Balor a fucking absolutely brutal bro kick. And then Cena hit McDonough with an AA 1-2-3. And John Cena gets the pinfall in Madison Square Garden for the very last time. Crowd went crazy. Sheamus and Ray hugged Cena. They left. They posed together. And then Cena looked into the camera as he walked up to the top of the stage and said, "Monday Night Raw, that's all she wrote. I love you and thank you." And that was it. 15 minutes, 6 of which went to 2 commercial breaks. So we need to do a little bit better there. But I guess those of you who watch on a VPN are not bothered by this and are not riddled with commercials. I was, unfortunately, because I watch on Netflix. But that was John Cena's final Monday Night Raw. Again, I'm not going to sit here and dissect what should have been done, how it could have been done better. Everybody had a good time in there. And it set up Survivor Series for Dominic and John Cena. There is nobody else for John Cena that fits the bill. Hopefully you understand that if you're in the same boat that I am, that doesn't really give a shit about seeing a second match between Dominic and John Cena when the first match was merely done for a moment, but the match itself wasn't all that good. They need to bring it at Survivor Series. But you see why they went with Dominic and not a Sheamus or anybody else. Plus, everybody else is tied up in the tournament. So Dominic makes the most sense out of everybody else that's on the roster. Nick Aldis, he met with Adam Pearce. And after what Paul Heyman did, they were discussing what Paul Heyman did on Friday Night SmackDown by enlisting a suspended performer to be a part of his War Games team. Adam Pearce said he should have seen Drew's actions coming and lamented the smug look on his face. Pearce says he's been dealing with him for years, always gaming the system. I genuinely wonder if we're setting up for Nick Aldis' return to the ring at WrestleMania against a Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. I genuinely wonder that. Because they got some tensions between those two guys as of late. Maybe that's the way. And if that is the way, there is no better opponent for Nick Aldis than Drew McIntyre. Heyman walked in as they were talking about him and said he sensed anger from both of them. I apologize. He says they are both in charge of enforcing the rules and regulations, but what I did was within the rules and within the regulations. He says if they think his fourth pick of Drew McIntyre pissed them off, wait till you see what I have in store for number 5. He handed Pierce a folder and walked away. They took a deep breath. They opened it. They saw what was in there. And they both said, this is going to be fun. Not in a good way. They are very much concerned about what Paul Heyman just handed them and what is staring them in the face. A beast of a number 5 pick. Stephanie Vaquera was shown walking backstage, and we go to Jackie Redmond, who was about to interview Stephanie Vaquera in the ring about Nikki Bella's heel turn last week and why Nikki Bella betrayed Stephanie Vaquera. She said she had some questions about what happened last week, so she threw a video recap of Nikki Bella attacking Stephanie, turning heel, and Jackie Redmond introduced the Women's World Champion. As Stephanie Vaquera made her entrance, Nikki Bella attacked her from behind. We did not get a Stephanie Vaquera promo. We did get a Nikki Bella promo, though. Unfortunately, she said, thank you for reminding me after attacking Stephanie, holding her hair and yelling at her. Thank you for reminding me who I am. She said she didn't return to cheer from the sidelines or be anyone's sidekick. She said she returned to lead the division. She told Stephanie she will give her a match for the world title. And Stephanie will bow down to the woman who changed this entire industry. Oh, man, I love a good comedy show, man. I love it. You know, Dolph Ziggler was in attendance, man. Didn't he at one point date Nikki Bella, man? Maybe Dolph's comedy shtick is running off on Nikki Bella, man, or rubbing off on Nikki Bella. Oh, man. What'd she say? She changed the industry. Oh, man. I needed that laugh, man. I needed that laugh. That's crazy. That's great. This was awful. This was awful. I have no problem with Nikki Bella. I don't. The problem is she doesn't fit into the current ecosystem of this current women's division. She is grossly inadequate compared to the rest of them. I don't know what else you want me to tell you. I may be in Guantanamo Bay, whatever the Bella Army is, wherever they hold their prisoners, like Tony Khan has Guantanamo Bay, the Bella Guantanamo Bay. That's where I am. She doesn't belong. And I don't know if you guys listen to this promo, but it is very difficult for me to look at somebody when Nikki is talking the way that she spoke tonight. I almost get a sense that she doesn't believe even herself when she's speaking, the way that she's speaking tonight. If it comes off that Nikki doesn't believe in what she's saying, and she can't express what she wants to say in a way where I am going to believe her, then how am I going to sit here and tell you that Nikki Bella cut a good promo and I believe the words that Nikki Bella reiterated tonight? I firmly believe in what she wanted to get across tonight. And then WWE, dear God, WWE, they booked this match. Stephanie will defend the championship against Nikki Bella at Survivor Series. Bro, we have the MFTs versus Sami Zayn, Rey Fenix, Shinsuke Nakamura, and the Motor City Machine Guns, happening on Friday Night SmackDown. They are going to be fighting in a traditional Survivor Series 5-on-5 elimination match. You mean to tell me that you can't give up? I would rather see that match take place at Survivor Series than a one-on-one match with Stephanie Vaquer, who I love, and Nikki Bella. It doesn't belong on Survivor Series. None of these women's matches belong on Survivor Series, to be quite honest with you. War Games doesn't belong on the show. The women could wrestle in a Survivor Series match. It doesn't need War Games. The women's match doesn't need War Games. This match doesn't need to take place in San Diego. Why couldn't this be saved for the Monday night before Survivor Series? And why is Nikki Bella getting a championship match anyway? She's won 0 matches in the last 4 weeks. On what planet does she earn a championship match? MK Pandy says Contwinimo Bay. Yes, that's what it's called. Contwinimo Bay. We'll just fuse the two institutions. Contwinimo Bay. It's where we are. We can't say anything about the Bella Army. This match is going to blow, number 1. It doesn't belong on Survivor Series, number 2. And number 3, who gives a fuck? Seriously, who gives a shit? Do you? Stephanie is so great, and I hate to see her women's championship run watered down to Nikki Bella. I don't know, man. You know, for the amount of money that you're charging for Survivor Series and for the amount of people you're fitting into Petco Park, I don't think that we need Vaquer and Bella on the card. Just a thought. This was bad. Everything she's done has been bad. Has there been one redeeming thing about Nikki Bella since she came back? No. Maybe we get Brie and then we get some twin magic. Yeah, that'll really fucking rile them up in San Diego. Then I actually have people making excuses. Oh, but Nikki Bella lives in wine country, Jay. Doesn't she live in Los Angeles? I'm sorry. When does that matter? Bayley lives in San Jose. She's not on the fucking card. Ridiculous. Nobody gives a fuck, and she's not winning the title. Can you imagine they take the belt off Stephanie and put her on Nikki Bella? Backstage, Bayley and Lyra were chatting when they crossed paths with Asuka and Kairi Sane. Asuka pitched Bayley should join their War Games team. Bayley said, no. All the Bellas from San Diego? The Bellas are from San Diego, huh? Great. Bayley said no. Kairi waved her hand in front of Bayley and said, you can't see me. She was laughing, very pleased with herself. If you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? Lyra wanted to do the special handshake with Bayley. Bayley said, what are you, 5, you stupid idiot? Let's go. Maybe they're slowly bringing back the dipping in and out of the anger and happiness of Bayley. Maybe she's going back to her Mankind split personality deal. It's bad enough we got to see this man on Friday. Now we got to see him on Monday. Solo Sikoa. I will say, though, for all the shit that Solo Sikoa gets, he is, at least personality-wise, finding himself. There's your one positive about Solo Sikoa. He's out there with Tala Tonga against Dolph Ziggler. This was the best Solo Sikoa match in 2025. I dare you to go find me a better match than this one for Solo Sikoa this year. You'll be looking and scouring for a very long time. And a lot of that, which comes as no surprise, was a lot to do with Nick Nemeth. Now, I said before this match that the one thing I'd like to see, because it would actually be the right decision, is for Nick Nemeth, Dolph Ziggler, to go over and advance to the next round of the tournament. I would have loved to see that. We had potential matches against maybe a Finn Balor or a Penta or an LA Knight or maybe a Dolph Ziggler versus Jey Uso. Who knows? Dolph Ziggler versus Carmelo Hayes. Dolph Ziggler versus Gunther. Right? Nah, we'll go with Solo Sikoa. That's the right choice, right? Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth, is currently with TNA. He is, if you guys are not aware, one of the best pro wrestlers in the world. He is fucking great. He is one of, if not the best seller in the business. AJ Styles just recently said the one thing that these young kids of the generation need to really brush up on is how to sell. If you can sell like Dolph, then you're a made man. He makes everyone look fucking great. Everybody. He is so good. There's no better seller. The only other guy that I could think of that is right now in his league, he's not even close, but he's in the league of great sells, is Ricochet. That's all I'll say good about Ricochet right now. He has always been a good seller. Everybody that is in the ring with Ricochet and someone like Dolph, their offense looks great because they bump and they make it look believable. He is fucking so good at what he does. Ziggler got such a great reaction here. He sold his ass off for Solo. Near falls were great. Just seeing him back in the WWE ring after we all know his ups and downs with the company and how they looked at him as more of, not really a jobber, but he was just an enhancement star. That's all he was. He was a gatekeeper. He was basically in that Miz role. He was a gatekeeper for WWE. That everybody's got to go through Dolph. If you can hang with Dolph, then you're a made man. If you can hang with the Miz, that's the current position that the Miz has right now. If you can hang with Miz and you can out promo or hang in a promo with Miz, you're a made man. You're ready for the main roster. I always looked at him as a world champion. World's heavyweight champion. I think he's a great in-ring performer. And he showed how valuable he still is in this match with Solo. This was the best Solo Sikoa match of 2025. And I do think that they made the wrong decision. I think Nick Nemeth, I think Dolph Ziggler should have won this match. Now, I know that they want Anoa'i representation, and I don't know who Solo will go on to wrestle. I do believe that it's either Finn Balor or Penta, maybe. They haven't even given us brackets yet. I have no idea what these next round matches are going to be after this week is over. I don't know what the next round matches are going to be. This went 9 minutes. Ziggler was the mystery opponent. He received a huge pop and chance of welcome back. He was very fired up. He was happy to be back. Stinger splash, drop kick, neck breaker, elbow drop. Ziggler hits all his big moves here. Big flying elbow drop, even off the top rope. Solo kicked out at a 1 with the elbow off the top. Solo took control during a commercial break. He had a Samoan drop when they returned. Ziggler fought back with a leaping DDT. Famous for 2. Solo responded with a spinning solo. Ziggler sold the shit out of the spinning solo. He bounced off that mat like it was fucking a gunshot. Ziggler ducked a spike, applied a schoolboy for a 2. Ziggler followed with a zigzag. He got a near fall. Fans went nuts for the zigzag, and they started shouting at the referee, telling the referee that the referee sucks. Ziggler tuned up the band for a super kick. Solo blocked it. Ziggler managed to do the super kick anyway. Solo shoved him off. Samoan spike. 1, 2, 3, which also Ziggler sold like death. 1, 2, 3, and Solo advances to the next round in the Last Time Is Now tournament. Dolph should have absolutely advanced. I would have taken him over Solo any day of the week. Ziggler versus Knight, Ziggler versus Gunther, Ziggler versus Penta, Ziggler versus Reed, Ziggler versus Hayes, anybody. Like, what are we doing? Who wants Solo in this tournament? Was it imperative for Solo to advance in this tournament? I don't get it. I don't understand it. Nice to see him back, though. Nice to see Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona back. Like I said with Cardona, if WWE doesn't bring him in full time, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, that brand could need and use all the help and all the talent that it could get. Zack Ryder could benefit from that show so greatly. Like, bring him in and build that show around him and make him a face of that fucking brand. Seriously. Not only does he deserve it, he's worked his fucking ass off on the indies to build his reputation. This isn't another Carlito signing where he just wasted away. Matt Cardona could be a valuable asset to this company. And he's still fucking great at what he does. He's already sold a shit ton of merch since he's been back. He's got a merchandising deal with WWE. Like, what are we waiting for? I feel the same thing about Dolph. Can you imagine a Dolph Ziggler? Actually, I don't want to because this year has sucked. But clearly you see the appreciation the fans have towards both of these guys. They would fit right back in, not missing a step on WWE television. But I just find it funny how Ziggler returns his first night back after how many years and loss. Right back to what he was doing when Vince was in charge. It sucks. I would have had Ziggler went over, but Triple H and the WWE, they love their NOIEs. Solo Sikoa moves on, and he advances to the next round of the tournament. Alexa Bliss. She had some promo time in the middle of the ring, and she wanted to talk about Charlotte Flair. And if you guys missed SmackDown, I did catch SmackDown after the concert was over on Friday. Charlotte called Rhea Ripley a snake. She says she doesn't like Rhea Ripley and she can't trust Rhea Ripley and told Lexi, I can't do this. She walked away. She removed herself from the War Games team. Alexa stood in the ring and Charlotte ignored her text messages and her phone calls, but she saw all over her Instagram stories Charlotte frolicking around in New York City all weekend. She said she'll have to deliver her this message in her own way. Really, Charlotte? She looks into the camera. After everything we've been through, she said it's hard to get trust back, which they built despite telling people, or people telling her backstage, don't trust Charlotte. Stay far away from her. She said she knows who Charlotte is on the inside and who she could be. I guess you'll be the one to prove me wrong. She said Charlotte left her and then got her ass kicked just because she didn't like Rhea Ripley. She said she has had her back, and the second she needed her best friend, yeah, I said it, she said. That's the time she chose to make a point just because she didn't like Rhea Ripley. Alexa was interrupted by Asuka, Kairi, Nia Jax, and Lash Legend. Nia Jax said it looked like no one was going to save her, and it looked like fun to get in there and beat her up 4-on-1. They all surrounded Bliss, and apparently Rhea Ripley and Io Sky had enough of this. They ran out immediately, and it turned into a 4-on-3 brawl. Legend and Nia attack Bliss. Charlotte all of a sudden runs out with a kendo stick. She bashed Nia Jax and Lash Legend with the kendo stick until they rolled out of the ring. Bliss and Charlotte stood with arms around each other, and they nodded at Io and Rhea Ripley. So whatever happened on Friday has now already been resolved. It only took 3 days. So there goes that storyline. I thought they were going to tell some mini story going into War Games with Charlotte and Alexa, and that was a very short-lived one. They still don't belong there. They lost their tag team championships to Asuka and Kairi Sane due to Nia Jax and Lash Legend, but That doesn't warrant a War Games situation for those 4 women. Right now, it's still 4-on-4. It will be 5-on-5, and I will tell you who those 2 extra members will be. One for the heels and one for the baby faces. Becky Lynch. She went one-on-one with Maxxine Dupri. Intercontinental title on the line. This is their 4th match, I believe, altogether. 3rd in recent memory. 3 matches in the last month and a half or so, 2 months. She told Adam Pearce that she was ready and that she got advice and tutelage from her friend, which we eventually found out tonight was AJ Lee. AJ Lee was the person of interest here that she had to go get advice from in order to take this match and be ready for this match against Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental Championship. Jessica Carr was the referee here again, who is labeled as a crooked ref by Becky Lynch. Lynch wasn't happy because she's blamed Jessica Carr for her previous losses to Maxxine. Lynch got in Dupri's face during the introduction, who, by the way, did not get a TV entrance on Netflix. Becky did. Maxxine did not. She aggressively handed Jessica Carr the Intercontinental title. Lynch was still arguing with the referee as Jessica called the match to start, so Dupri booted Lynch right in the face and went for a quick near fall. Lynch took over by knocking Maxxine off the top rope, and we go into a commercial break. Typical WWE commercial break. Match begins, and within 90 seconds, we go into a commercial break. Maxxine fought back as soon as they came back. Clotheslines, big roundhouse kick, which she's making one of her signature moves. She's very long with the legs. So she's got a nice high leg kick. It's almost like a lariat. Dupri then hits a fisherman suplex, which she does great. A la Mr. Perfect. Mr. Perfect had the best fisherman suplex. She dropped her straps, and she went for a leg drop, which she partially missed for a 2 count. Did not look good. Becky Lynch booted Maxxine's arm and tried targeting it, but Maxxine fought back again. Becky lifted her out of the corner and hit a power bomb on Maxxine. So Becky then tried applying an armbar, but Maxxine bridged out of it. She countered it a second time and applied a cradle for a 2. Maxxine applied an ankle lock and then grapevined the legs to avoid a rope break. Becky still managed to slip out of it, and then she kicked Maxxine in the arm again, working on the arm. Obviously, she wants to get ready for the disarm her. Becky Lynch hit the manhandle slam right next to the rope, so Maxxine got a rope break, and Becky could not believe it, and she was eyeing Jessica Carr as if it was her fault. She gets up and she starts poking Jessica Carr, blaming Jessica for not counting 3, and Jessica Carr says, "What would you like me to do? Maxxine Dupri got the ropes. It's all legal. Why don't you pay attention to your match and less attention on me?" Becky Lynch got in Jessica's face. Lynch went back to Maxxine and threw Maxxine out of the ring. So Jessica Carr went to check on Maxxine. Becky Lynch at this time, with Jessica Carr's back turned, went to go take off the far corner turnbuckle pad. Now, while she was doing that, AJ Lee's music hit. This is the first time we've heard this music since WrestlePalooza. She skipped out to her music. She stands right in the aisleway, and she looks at Becky Lynch, and she does the Meet the Parents. I got my eye on you, the circle of trust, right? With Robert De Niro and Ben Stiller. I'm seeing you. When he got caught with the marijuana in the pocket by using a jacket that wasn't his, and he didn't know it was there. I see you. AJ Lee comes out. This distracted Becky Lynch like a fucking jobber. She got distracted by the babyface. Maxxine caught her with a flying crossbody as soon as Becky turned around, and the crossbody, believe it or not, was enough. 1, 2, 3. Maxxine Dupri pins Becky Lynch and wins the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Maxxine quickly sprinted out of the ring, hugged AJ. Jessica Carr handed her the championship. She raised the title, hugged AJ, fireworks went off, and Becky Lynch is now titleless. Thanks to AJ Lee. Gee, I wonder who the final two women's War Games participants are going to be. Is Maxxine ready for an Intercontinental Championship? The answer is no. Maxxine will do nothing for the Intercontinental title, and the Intercontinental title will do nothing to Maxxine. Maxxine's eventually going to figure out that the title is, or the burden of the title is way too much to hold. WWE wanted to do something productive. Becky Lynch and AJ Lee, granted, we got the build going into WrestlePalooza. It's quite odd that we haven't seen AJ Lee on television, being that she said she's back full time. We haven't seen AJ since WrestlePalooza. So why she's back for Becky Lynch all of a sudden doesn't really explain. She did say that, you know, when you mess with one of her friends, she's got to come out and defend her friends, and that Becky has fired her up and opened up or lit a fire in her that she hasn't felt in a very long time. I mean, that's all great and dandy, but that's not really an explanation as to why you went missing since WrestlePalooza and took all of September and all of October and half of November off. She was at big event in New York City, by the way, which Jason and I saw the line because I was there, and I hung out with him right before the House of Glory show on Saturday. Her line was out the fucking door. And we both looked at each other, and we both had the same collective thought and said, well, she is on Long Island. She is in New York. She'll probably end up in the city on Monday, and there's your fifth for War Games. I'm like, yep. Exactly what's going to happen. That's exactly what happened tonight. I don't really feel the intensity or the necessity or the anger from AJ to Becky. We're going to feel it from Becky to AJ because AJ cost Becky the championship. That feud, when it happens one-on-one, doesn't need the championship. I'm glad WWE took the belt off of Becky Lynch and put it on Maxxine. Because Maxxine's reign is going to be a short one. It's going to be a temporary one. AJ Lee doesn't need the Intercontinental. What the fuck does she need the Intercontinental Championship for? Clearly, she's not going to be there full time. Clearly, she has a Roman Reigns-like schedule. Do you want that for the Intercontinental title? If you're not going to be there every day, why give her a championship? So there's your answer. It's the first time we've seen her in 2 months, 2.5 months. You want to put the belt on someone that is going to be off TV for 2.5 months? The next time we see AJ is not going to be until the Royal Rumble. She'll probably wrestle in the Elimination Chamber in Chicago. She's going to make sporadic appearances. She's not going to be on every show. She's not going to be on every PLE or on every Saturday night's main event. So she doesn't need to wrestle for the championship, and there's no reason to put the championship on her. I'd much rather it go to someone like Maxxine. All the Becky Hogan narrative, Becky Hogan memes are going right out the window tonight. Becky wanted to help Maxxine get over. Maxxine is now the Intercontinental Champion. Becky did a tremendous job with the Intercontinental Championship. Her matches with Lyra outside of the SummerSlam match was fucking great. That SummerSlam match was fucking awful. My God, was that fucking awful. She's done a great job with that title. To drop it to someone like Maxxine is the right move. Because Maxine's going to have a short reign. I envision Roxanne Perez is going to be the next in line, who WWE is very high on. Wins the championship, beats Maxxine, becomes the new Intercontinental Champion. And then sooner rather than later, you're going to get Dominic Mysterio and Roxanne Perez as Intercontinental Champions in the Judgment Day. And then sooner rather than later, you're going to get Liv Morgan back. And Liv Morgan's going to want her spot back. And Liv Morgan's going to want to take everything from Roxanne that she felt Roxanne took from her. And that includes the Intercontinental Championship. Roxanne Perez versus Liv Morgan for the Intercontinental Championship between when she wins it and WrestleMania. Whether it happens before WrestleMania or whether it happens at WrestleMania. One thing is for certain. Liv Morgan, in my prediction, will win the Intercontinental Championship from Roxanne Perez. And if that match doesn't happen at WrestleMania, which would be a great WrestleMania match, because it would come full circle, Roxanne Perez, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan in a mixed tag team match at WrestleMania. Liv Morgan and Dominic would walk in both the Intercontinental Champions. And then obviously that could play off the fact that they may no longer be in the Judgment Day. Liv and Dominic would be baby faces to Finn and Roxanne's heel. Any questions? Any questions from the classroom? That is the creative direction. That is the best route. That is the best course of action. Book it. Long-term booking. Book it. I like it. Becky Lynch will find herself on Team Asuka. AJ Lee will find herself on Team Rhea. Does it add a little bit more star power to a match that doesn't really have any tensions right now outside of Rhea and Asuka? EO and Asuka? Sure. Sure. But less of taking all the existing feuds and throwing them into one match and more of a dissension between all of the individuals collectively at once. How about that? Why does JD not want a women's War Games match? That's why. There's not one singular tension between all 10 women. One group of women have a problem with another group of women. One group of women have another problem with another group of women. And Becky Lynch has a problem with AJ Lee. Let's throw them all in the same match and then call it a War Games. Lazy! Byron Saxon interviewed Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. The most notable thing here was that Roxanne correctly was complaining that Bella was getting a title shot before Perez, despite Perez beating her twice in a row. Yet Nikki Bella's getting a championship match against Stephanie Vaquer while losing 3 matches straight. I don't get it. Javon Evans. He went one-on-one with Gunther. The last time is now tournament, round 1. If there was one thing I was looking forward to on this show, it was this match. This match went 15 minutes, and we got 6 minutes of it on Netflix, riddled with commercials. The one thing that everybody's looking forward to on this show is John Cena will throw 2 commercial breaks in his match, and then Gunther and Evans will throw 2 commercial breaks in their match too. Who made that decision? Why did we need 2 commercial breaks during this? The one match that had banger written all over it. Gunther came out to his original NXT UK theme. I legitimately reacted, and not fake, like a fake reactor on social media. I reacted genuinely. Good. I had a couple of people in my comment section on Twitter. Oh, I enjoyed his old Gunther theme better. The last one he had. And people tell me I have bad musical taste. That theme was fucking hideous. It was awful. It was nothing more than a German-style chant of his name. It was clearly AI generated. So you are in favor of AI generated slop for Gunther's theme? No. Gunther came out to his old NXT theme music. Everybody was happy. It signifies and symbolizes he truly is the final boss. And yes, Symphony Number 9 is Gunther's. Mercedes can claim that she has an original theme, but All Mercedes did was bite off the true final boss. She can pretend she could be a final boss, but she will never be the caliber of final boss that Gunther is. No matter if the theme music sound similar. Don't even at me. Gunther dismissed Evans. After some back and forth, he patted him on the head. Evans smacked him across the face. Evans then chopped Gunther, nasty chop, and counted a few spots until Gunther simply booted him in the face. And we went into a commercial break, and you could tell he ripped his shirt off. And you could tell before they went into the commercial break that Gunther chopped the living shit out of this kid's chest, and we didn't see it on television. Again, I don't know why they opt to choose to go to commercial there, but they did. Gunther maintained control. There was a Y2J chant as he did a lion tamer. New York knows what's up. Y2J, New York City chanted. Don't worry, chat. He'll be in the Royal Rumble. Evans counted a powerbomb into a hurricanrana, and referee stopped counting because Gunther's shoulders were not on the mat after Evans went for a pinfall here. So the momentum of the crowd getting excited about the hurricanrana into the pinfall was kind of stifled because there wasn't a flush pin. Evans followed with that somersault kick that he usually does. Crowd started to get more into it. He tried a suicide dive. Gunther caught him and threw him ridiculous into the ring apron. He went splat against the LED apron, and then we go into another commercial break. Gunther tried for a German suplex. Evans landed on his feet. Gunther chopped him again, this time with a drop kick followed. Evans countered him again. Sunset flip cradle for a 2. We come back from a commercial break. They trade strikes until Evans tried springing off the ropes, but Gunther booted him again. Evans countered Gunther once again. Cutter. And he hit the dive over the top rope, which he did not do earlier. Gunther caught him the first time. He hit it the second time. Evans goes back into the ring with Gunther. Great looking frog splash for a 2 count. The crowd is finally everybody's on their feet at this point. Gunther hit an uppercut to the back of Evans. He came off the top rope. Gunther chopped him down. Gunther followed with a suplex and a powerbomb. Evans kicked out. He then applied a sleeper. Evans tried fighting through it. Gunther cinched it in even more, and Evans quickly tapped out. Gunther left the ring, and you could hear the crowd starting to give Evans an ovation, and that was the end of the match. Gunther beats Evans in 15 minutes. He advances to the Last Time Is Now tournament. I think everybody that right now is upset with the field of 16 in this John Cena tournament. You have every right to feel upset. It almost feels like WWE opted not to have any fun with this tournament. Sure, this match went 15 minutes. I would have absolutely saved this for the final. I would have. And I would have the final take place at Survivor Series. But they didn't opt to do that. They went a completely different route. If you're disappointed by the 16 men that were in this tournament, good. You have every right to be, because I am. We have outside surprises. 1 NXT talent in Javon Evans, and then 2 TNA talents in Matt Cardona and Dolph Ziggler. Zack Ryder and Dolph Ziggler. Sure. They have history with John Cena. Sure. John Cena has mentioned them before in the past. Great. And they're both great guys. Both great wrestlers. But if you really wanted to have fun with this, I don't really see where the fun comes in. Everything that has played out so far has been safe. Everything that has played out has been very formulaic WWE. Now you're looking at, and I don't want to write them off, but WWE, if they really want to make a young guy, I'm going to have either Carmelo Hayes or Bronson Reed win this tournament, now that Javon Evans is out. Obafemi didn't even factor into it. He wasn't one of the 16. I know everybody wanted Oba in this, but apparently Oba's back on NXT and already, again, eyeing Ricky Saints for the NXT title. So no, Oba wasn't even in the plan. Now we are looking at what WWE gave us. No Oba, no Javon Evans, who was the only real young star in this that could have benefited from it. Now we're looking at maybe Carmelo Hayes and maybe Bronson Reed. Do we see Carmelo Hayes winning this tournament? The answer is no. WWE is not going to give Carmelo Hayes John Cena in his final match. Could we see Bronson Reed do it? Sure. I could see Bronson Reed winning this tournament. I would be shocked if WWE gives it to Bronson Reed. But if you really want to build the youth and you want to build someone that has already been given the stamp of approval from Paul Heyman, who conveniently sits in the group on Monday night called The Vision, who has been labeled the future of the company, then maybe Bronson Reed should win this tournament. I don't see it. It is certainly a I have to see it to believe it situation. For all the people that didn't want Gunther in this tournament, chat, I am sorry to tell you. It looks like Gunther is going to go on to the finals, and it looks like Gunther is going to wrestle John Cena in Washington, D.C. on December 13th. I don't see any other way on how this goes. So you can sit there and bitch and moan and cry and complain. Gunther and John Cena are going to have a banger. It's going to be a great match. Does Gunther need to retire John Cena? No, he doesn't need it. Do you know who needs it? Carmelo Hayes, Bronson Reed, John Evans before he got eliminated, and Obafemi, who wasn't even in the fucking tournament. If WWE wanted to have fun with this, Dolph Ziggler would have advanced to the next round. WWE wanted to have fun with this, we would have gotten more one-off surprises with hopes of them maybe winning. Why do we need to be so stale and boring? This match was very good. But there's a small part of me that felt a little disappointed because I felt like they didn't even get to the next gear. Maybe at some point in the future we'll get this again. And at that point, it would really mean something. Additionally, I don't know how you guys feel because I could certainly see Javon Evans winning the NXT Championship at some point and getting a run down there. I say, fuck that. Call the kid up to the main roster and let him flourish on the main roster. I think SmackDown would benefit so much from Javon's energy, Javon's offense, and just what he brings to the table. We need a shake-up, bro. SmackDown's going 3 hours. There's no fucking way we could sit there on a random Friday in January with fucking that roster. There's no way. Call the kid up now and put him on Friday night. Fuck NXT. If he's already having bangers like this with guys like Gunther, I think he's ready to bypass the fucking NXT championship. Backstage, Maxxine Dupri is with AJ Lee, and they are embracing. Dupri said all of her hard work paid off. She gave credit to AJ. AJ said Dupri deserved all the credit. Otis and Akira Tozawa joined the celebration. Jackie Redmond asked AJ Lee if she was going to stick around now that she's back. She said she hoped the answer was yes. Lee said when she returned, she wanted to help her husband, but a fire lit up inside her that she forgot she had, and she thanks Becky for that. Who knows? I may stick around. Rhea Ripley then walked up to AJ and asked if she had a second to chat. AJ said, sure. War Games is on the horizon. Joe Tessitore announced Gunther versus Carmelo Hayes and Solo Sikoa versus Finn Balor or Penta. And the quarterfinal match is next week on Monday Night Raw. So Gunther will beat Carmelo, and Solo will hopefully lose to Penta. Penta needs to advance. The finals of this tournament are going to be Gunther versus Penta. Calling it right now. Gunther versus Penta will be the finals of the John Cena Last Time Is Now tournament. I wish this match was taking place at Survivor Series, but we don't really know what that is going to entail. Hopefully that is the case. Survivor Series is looking a little bleak with the current card. War Games match for the women that nobody gives a fuck about. Stephanie Vaquer versus Nikki Bella for the Women's Championship that nobody gives a fuck about. And John Cena versus Dominic for the Intercontinental title. I think 5 matches is more than enough for Survivor Series. Main event segment. It was a segment and not a match. Can you imagine we get Gunther versus Jey Uso again in the finals? Can you imagine? No. No, man, I may gouge my fucking eyeballs out. Honestly. Paul Heyman's in the ring. He introduced the Vision. He said everybody's name individually. And he went over the fact that he led many a team into War Games. He said this was the greatest collection of talent that he would ever take into War Games. He took the Samoan SWAT team, the Freebirds, the Dangerous Alliance, and the Bloodline to the ring for War Games. But this was the greatest assembly of talent that he is walking to the ring for War Games ever. It is very difficult to say that Paul Heyman is not correct. He very much is correct. This is the greatest collection of talent that he's walking into War Games with. CM Punk's music hit. He waited ringside. Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso came out and they, of course, yeeted. They all waited for Cody Rhodes to come out to his music next. He does. He stood side by side with Punk. Punk, by the way, came out without the World Heavyweight title. Babyfaces cleared the ring. Punk dropped Paul with a bulldog. Not Paul Heyman, but Logan Paul. All of a sudden, Brock Lesnar comes out. Punk went after him and had a face-off with Brock Lesnar. Punk's reaction when Lesnar's music hit was priceless. He could not believe what he was hearing. Lesnar laid him out with a couple of German suplexes, one of which looked fucking brutal. Rhodes went after Lesnar with a couple of shots. Lesnar laid him out with a couple of suplexes. Lesnar stood tall, and the trademark graphic shows up, signifying that the show was over, but it wasn't. Roman Reigns comes out, and he does his entrance. He walks down the aisle, gets into the ring. He faces off with Lesnar. Lesnar tried to attack, but Reigns ducked his clothesline and knocked Lesnar out of the ring forcefully with a Superman punch. Security then all of a sudden stepped in front of Reigns, so Reed attacked Reigns from behind. Reed went for a tsunami, but Reigns popped up and gave Reed a Superman punch. The NYPD, or geeks dressed in NYPD outfits, appeared at ringside to give off the perception that the police had to get involved here. Appeared at ringside as Punk choked out Logan Paul with a kendo stick. The NYPD and security tried settling things down. Reigns speared Reed, and one of the NYPD officers, quote unquote, through the barricade, and the show comes to an abrupt end at 10:25. This was all about Lesnar and Punk, Lesnar and Reigns, Lesnar and Cody, McIntyre, Reed, Braun Breaker, and Drew McIntyre. Logan Paul. Non-factors here. Non-factors. It was all about spotlighting Lesnar being back as the insurance policy, putting his group, the Vision, over the top, assembling those 5 men for War Games, and then obviously that leads to Roman Reigns being the equalizer for Cody and CM Punk along with the Usos. This was not a bad end to Monday Night Raw. It felt like a War Games environment. It felt like a War Games situation. I'm going to be a little bit more lenient towards this than I am the women. Like I said in the outset of this show, everybody in this match has some sort of history. This is what you look for. This is what you clamor for. This is what you get excited about when it comes to what makes a War Games match. Everybody here has years of history. Matches and matches and matches. A lot of them between all of these guys. The feud and the volatile nature is heavy here. Reigns and Lesnar, Reigns and McIntyre, Reigns and Breaker, a future matchup. Reigns and the Vision. The Vision is basically the bloodline led by Rollins. He wanted to be Roman. I wonder what this match would look like if Rollins was involved. Would it be McIntyre or would it be Lesnar? Or maybe we get two completely different guys and we get two new guys joining the Vision. Maybe an Austin Theory, which was also the rumor. Reigns has history with all these guys. He's battled Bronson Reed twice on PLE. People want to see him in Braun Breaker at WrestleMania. Reigns and Lesnar, Reigns and McIntyre. Reigns and Logan Paul have wrestled. CM Punk and Brock Lesnar, one of the best SummerSlam matches ever. Punk and Logan Paul, Punk and McIntyre, self-explanatory. CM Punk's been battling the Vision all year. The Usos in the Vision, self-explanatory. Cody and Lesnar, a trifecta of matches, 4-month feud. He was the biggest obstacle that Cody had to conquer on his way back to the World Championship. Cody and McIntyre, which right now, Cody being in the match works because McIntyre is there. They've been feuding lately. Cody and Logan Paul, they've wrestled each other. Then you got the baby faces. You got Punk and Cody, who are friends, but then you got Cody and Roman. Cody and Roman will eventually meet one more time. Surprised they're even on the same team. You don't think Roman Reigns wants the WWE title back? What's their relationship? What's their tension going to be like inside War Games? Then you got the whole problem with Jimmy and Jay and Jimmy and Jay and Roman and Jimmy. So it's not just baby faces versus heels. In some case, there's tension between the baby faces because of what happened previously. The Usos cost Roman a match against Bronson Reed. Jimmy thinks Roman is corrupting his brother. Roman wants the WWE title back. He's always made a mission of getting the title back. Cody is right there. And then Roman and Punk. Roman doesn't like Punk, and Punk don't like Roman, stemming from what happened at WrestleMania. This match has so many different webs, so many different avenues. Like, bro, this is fucking War Games, man. At least for an hour. On Survivor Series, we can just say, you know what? We're going to get something that is highly entertaining and something that is indicative of being a War Games. I love it. These teams are going to be destructive in the best way possible. Thank you guys very much for all of your supports. We had a great stream tonight. You guys killed it tonight. 2,600. We need another 200 or so, less than 200 likes for 1,000 likes. Can we get that number up? Let's get 1,000 likes before we get out of here. We're going to get into your super chat tonight. So please hit that thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of tonight's Monday Night Raw from Madison Square Garden. Let me know what you guys think of the War Games bill that we got tonight. Hit that thumbs up, leave me a comment, hit that subscribe button down below, and please follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Tonight we are sponsored by my great friends over at Blue Chew. BlueChew.com. Code JD at checkout. You're going to save 10% off your first month because Blue Chew is getting in the ring with Blue Chew Gold. That's right, fellas. It's time to level up. Blue Chew just dropped something new, and this isn't some mid-card debut. This is Blue Chew Gold Championship Belt Performance. We're talking a 4-on-1 powerhouse that sets the gold standard. Sends you need for energy, focus, and connection. The perfect combination for when it's time to main event in the evening. Basically, it's like if Triple H booked your chemistry for 5-star storytelling. Not this year, though, in 2024. This thing dissolves under your tongue and works in as little as 15 minutes. No long build, no cold open, just full ignition before the first commercial break. Blue Chew Gold is for those main event moments, the ones that need a little extra boom before you hit the ring. This isn't Netflix and chill. This is Netflix and fill. So it's just not about performance. It's about legacy. It's about going from mid-card to Mount Rushmore. It's about being the tribal chief of the bedroom. So if you're ready to go for gold, Blue Chew Gold is your new tag team partner. So make life easier by getting harder and discover your options at BlueChew.com. And we got a special deal for all of our listeners tonight. Get 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with code JD. That's code JD, 10% off at BlueChew.com. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And big thanks to them for sponsoring the podcast right here for the Monday Night Raw Post Show on Off the Script. Let's get to these super chats. You guys killed it tonight. Appreciate you. We are going to start at the top with Michael Krause with a $2 super chat. $2 super chat. He says, congratulations, JD, on 174K. How was the concert? Yeah. Thank you, Michael. Concert was great. Miles Kennedy is awesome, and Wolfgang is fucking great. Tone C with a $2 super chat. He leaves me the metal horn emojis. Thank you, Tone C. Twister1296 with a $9.99 super chat. I'm sure many of you have heard of this event, but I will be attending the Daytona 500 on February 15, 2026. I am so excited, and this was on my bucket list. Let's fucking go, says Twister. Congratulations, brother. Sounds like a good time, and I'm not a NASCAR savant. Have no interest in it at all, but I hope you have a good time, bro. Thank you. The Boss Mo Jackson with a $1.99. 2 thumbs up for the channel. Looking forward to TNT tomorrow night. OTS for life. We will be here, Jackson. Devin250 says in the chat, I went through a breakup after 5 years of a relationship with my girl last night, JD. This episode of Raw made me feel so much better. That's what it's all about, Devin. Hopefully you found some escape in tonight's Monday Night Raw, escape in tonight's stream. You got a good group of people here, man. So get lost in them. And you will be fine, man. I know that's tough. We've all been there. But there is nothing that you can't overcome, bro. Nothing. So trust in the process. It is just the universe saying that this just wasn't it. And you will know. You will know when you have it and that partner. Believe me. Boss Mo Jackson with the $1.99. JD, I was right. AJ assist Dupri in her win. Good stuff. Yes. Wasn't very difficult to see happen, but we have talked about it at some point. Twister with a $9.99. Said it so many times, so why not say it again? The difference between Raw and SmackDown is night and fucking day. This was much, much better than the first MSG show this year. It was. This was probably one of the better Raws of the year, I would say. And yes, SmackDown does not have this level of excitement. Not even close. Michelle with the $2 super chat. Men's War Games teams should put on an epic match. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. Cody Snyder with a 5. Punk and Brock together at Chills. Their SummerSlam match was one of my favorites of the last almost 30 years. Roman took out the cops. Laughing emoji. Cheers. Thank you, Cody. Yeah, that Punk and Brock match was fucking great. So it's going to be great to see them back in the ring together. And it's going to be great to see what Brock does in that type of environment. Keith Smith with a 3 months. Thank you, brother. Maxxine deserves it. She does. She does. Walker Stubbs with a $9.99. Hey, GD, my friend says that AEW reminds him of the Attitude Era and thinks there are better wrestlers on there. I was wondering if you have anything to say about that. Well, I think your friend is a brain-dead idiot, number one. Number two, it reminds him of the Attitude Era in what way? The Attitude Era was selling out venues and arenas worldwide, and wrestling was never as hotter as it was in the Attitude Era. AEW can barely fill 2,000 people in a fucking concert hall, and the ratings are plummeting week by week, where they lost 60 to 70% of their overall audience from only 3 years ago. So how does it remind them of the Attitude Era? There are no stories, there's no cohesiveness, there's no continuity on any of the shows, and Tony Khan books by the fucking zipper of his fucking pants. Money matches and random wrestler A versus random wrestler B, and we're told to watch for the story. What story? There is no story. There's got to be a greater story than Pro Wrestler A challenges for Pro Wrestler B for the TNT title. AEW is not good television. Coaster Cloudy with a 25 months. Best Raw this year, JD. NY crowd sucked so bad the first 10 minutes of the Gunther match. Did they? They were all on their feet by the end of the match. I don't really think that matters. Best Raw of the year, it's up there. Quite honestly, I want to forget most of this year. Shane with a $7.99 from Australia. Hey, JD, hope you enjoyed your concert the other night. I attended Metallica in Sydney on Saturday. Enjoyed that a lot more than SmackDown. I saw their Instagram, bro. I didn't know they were touring Sydney. I hope you had a good time. Looking forward to Megadeth's new album in January, but that last single, man, holy shit, was that shit terrible. I don't know what possessed them to release that fucking song. Richard Cohn with a 5. Hey, JD, that was a very good fucking show tonight. SmackDown sucks. Good night to 3 hours. God help us with all the damn commercials. Fix that shit. You're the best. Yeah. Thank you, Richard. LW616 with a $1.99. No message. Thank you. Captain Solo with a 2. Should LA Knight be in War Games and not Jimmy Uso? LA Knight gets strapped with losing in the John Cena tournament. Thanks for coming. Joseph Taylor with a 5. When I knew Myles Kennedy was a perfect singer, is him hitting that perfect high note in the song Find the Real. All you need to do is go look up Alter Bridge, Words Darker Than Your Wings, from the United Kingdom, where they did their tour with the orchestra there. And then listen to Myles' performance there, and listen to Myles hit that high note live in front of a sold-out fucking venue. That's all you need to do. If you don't think Myles Kennedy is a great fucking vocalist and one of the greatest vocalists of our generation, Words Darker Than Their Wings, you go listen to that, and you listen to him hit that last note of the fucking song, and tell me that doesn't give you fucking chills. Seriously. Best in the world, Matt, with 14 months. It's been a minute, OTS fam. WWE totally using TNA by helping them get a TV deal against Tony and AEW. Anything to be petty towards all elite wrestling. Factual information, Matt. Won't be surprised if TNA lands with AMC on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Glow J with a 2. They need to move more talent from NXT to SmackDown. Yes. Anakin women, children to Skywalker. 3 months. Hope all's well, JD and the OTS family. Keep talking that shit so long as it keeps you out of Guantanamo Bay. Code JD at checkout to get sprung. Yeah. Thank you, Anakin. 9 months from Glow J. If they took talent from NXT, moved them over to SmackDown, they're not utilizing their talent. Obafemi and many more to be nice. It'd be nice to see them make some changes on Friday night. Yeah, I agree. I agree. They need to drastically change that entire roster. Toya with a 2. Truth fought Cena 2 times. Saturday night's main event and SmackDown. Yeah. Yeah, he's the other one. And none of them mean anything. That's why I honestly forgot, because none of them meant anything. Dalton Meister with the 5 War Games. We'll get to the point where Hell in a Cell was while Vince was booking. It's sad to see. It will. It's already there. It's already there. Demeter Bullion Doggy with a $7.99. Listen, DJ, or should I say JD, that's what they call you, right? My name, Mr. B, like Mr. T, but like Brother Nero. Ray should be Dummy with a tombstone. Thank you, Demeter. Always entertaining is Demeter Bullion. Always. Brother Nero. WrestleMass with 11 months. Gunther should win the finals at Survivor Series later in the night. Cost Cena the IC title and then beat his ass and write him off TV till Saturday night's main event. I like it. Does it happen? Probably not. Marlon, the RNA with a $4.99. Salutes. Thank you, Marlon. Yurka with a 10. No message from Yurka. Thank you, Yurka. Joker Face with a $4.99. JD, Chester Bennington, Linkin Park is my favorite rock band vocalist. Miles Kennedy is my second. And Corey Taylor is my third. Who's your second and third favorite vocalist? Now I probably say it's definitely Miles, number one, and Russell Allen from Symphony X. I probably go, you probably never heard of him, but Dino Jalusic. He did Michael Romeo's second War of the Worlds album. Just a tremendous fucking performance, man. Such a great singer. Wolfgang is not in my top 3, but I'd probably slot him in at number 4, number 5, honestly. Dino Jalusic. I love Mark Hudson from Dragon Force, too. I don't know if I'd call him one of my favorites, but... Chris Clancy from Mutiny Within. Bjorn Speed Strid from Soilwork. Who else? I'd probably go, what's his name? From, Christian, another guy you guys never heard of, but Christian Alvestam from former Scar Symmetry and Solution 45. He's a tremendous fucking vocalist. Yeah, listen, man, I appreciate a good vocalist. I really do. I appreciate guys that kind of go in that, and Matt Heafy's fucking great too. I appreciate vocals that kind of are more along the lines of Miles, but I always have a appreciation of like that guttural but also have that beautiful, clean voice, too. Yeah. Michael Cross with a 2. That women's title match is going to be great. LOL. Illuminati with a 2 and a 5 and a 2. We need an LA Knight and Zack Ryder tag team. Call it Knight Rider. I seen that going around on social media. Sure. Maxxine Dupri equals most improved wrestler in 2025. And do you keep Liv a heel when she returns? Liv will not be a heel when she comes back. Liv Morgan will be a babyface. Ugly in the morning with a 279. No message. Thank you. True Crime Unleashed with a $2 super chat. Bruce granted a match as a favor to Johnny Ace. To who? Dolph Ziggler? Or no, Nikki Bella. Yeah, Nikki Bella. Yeah. WrestleMess with a 199. 3-hour SmackDowns in Sunset at 4:30 p.m. No thank. Yeah, it's so depressing, bro. The Ruthless Depression era. Yep. Delwyn with a 20. Dude, when Roman and Brock faced off, I got chills. Same with Punk and Brock and Cody, too. Oh, man, we're in for a treat with the men's War Games. And throw AJ and Becky into women's War Games, too. I'm so down for that. Well, that's going to happen next week. And, yeah, you know, Roman and Brock have had a lot of time in the ring, but there's been enough time that passed where this actually mattered. It felt good to see that tonight. Phil Illuminati with a $5 super chat. I hate to say it, I don't see the baby faces winning. I would not have the baby faces winning. I'd have something that sets up Braun Breaker versus CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship, and then Braun Breaker beating CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. Legarvra 007 with a $4.99. Hey, JD, what do you think of Brock Lesnar's plans after Survivor Series? He will be in the Royal Rumble. Brendan Watson with a $4.99. Hey, JD, today's my birthday, and what better way to spend it than to spend it with the best of the best of the best? Yeah! OTS for life. Brendan, happy fucking birthday, brother. You're goddamn right. Enjoy your day, man. And WrestleMess with the 199. Maxxine Dupri doing better than Max Dupri. Who? When people want to say LA Knight is buried, they clearly forgot about Maxxine Dupri, Max Dupri, and the Maximum Male Models. Max Dupri would have been fired, and Eli Drake would have been all elite. So shut your mouth. Anyway, we're about to get out of here, guys. Thank you very much for all of your support. We had a great showing tonight, great stream. Happy to be back with you tonight, doing the thing better than anybody. 2,600 live tonight for the post show. Another 1,000 at least on X. You guys are great. Love it. Now I get to hop on Arc Raiders before I go to sleep. I'm addicted to that fucking game, bro. I'm addicted to that game. I may actually stream it for you guys one of these days. I don't know. Some of my favorite content on YouTube right now is Doc playing Arc Raiders, man. It is fucking so unbelievable, man. It's so great. Anyway, thank you guys for a great stream. 2,600 plus. How many likes do we got? Do we got 1,000 likes yet? Guys, we need 85 likes for 1,000. I'm going to leave it up to you. You know what to do. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Go check out all the content on the channel. We got Tuesday Night Titans coming up tomorrow. With me and the Solid Monster, as always, number 121. And I'll see you then, man. Have a great night. See you tomorrow for Tuesday Night Titans with the Solid Monster.